Hi, I am Sophie Burton, and I am the beverage director for JoJo's Beloved Cocktail Lounge. So the bar is in Midtown in Atlanta. It's located in the Colony Square area, which is sort of a revitalized development in the heart of Midtown. I think after being in lockdown, people need an outlet that's just something different than one their houses, obviously, but two, I think a lot of people picked up a lot of skills, started getting into a lot of different things, and need a place for like expression, and need a place for that where it's like okay to not be inside of a plain box, where it's like something that is like a little bit niche and like is something that you can't get anywhere else. It's not necessarily just like 70s or 80s fun that people need, but I think people are yearning for a little bit of being able to like put themselves out there in a place that encourages like expression and creativity. The focus is definitely mid to late 70s, like maximalism. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, we've got this like red on red on red. Also, it's quite tall. We're in a room that is 35 feet high here. Has a skylight. So we've got 5 of these booths, all with this custom lighting here. Custom kind of like finishes there, and then all of the art takes on albums that we really enjoy that have been kind of remixed to have our branding and our logo in it. And each booth and bit of art is different. So we had Miss Grace Jones there. We've got the talking heads here, so on and so forth. Got the staff getting ready, doing their thing there. Yeah, so all of this is actually like LED lighting stripping. So it's dimmable, which is cool, and like we have like different lighting patterns, and then this is true neon. What people can expect is that we tried really hard to make something that they could only get here. And what I mean by that is like we have a house cocktail menu that we're really proud of that had a lot of like intention and like house made type of ingredients going into it. And also like a pretty specific guiding touchstone for the program in that like we want to take 70s and 80s cocktails that may necessarily not be part of the modern like cocktail palette and update them to where like take a Midori sour and update it to where like a cocktail nerd who likes going and drinking at the James Beard Award-winning cocktail bars would want to come drink here. So they can expect something that's like aesthetically fun, not just like visually appealing, but like aesthetically also like fun, maybe a little bit cheeky, but also like in line with the modern, the modern cocktail palette. The first cocktail on the list is called My Offer Is Nothing, and that's a play on a Godfather, which is usually just a blended Scotch and amaretto. And well, for our cocktail, we're like, okay, start there. That's great. Scotch and amaretto are both great, but that cocktail again tends to be kind of sweet. So like, what can we do about it? And I was like, well, what's kind of like a desserty cocktail that people actually really enjoy in the modern cocktail era? And that was a Oaxacan old fashioned. So I started with mole bitters and lemon oil, so a lemon peel, and then added it's called Dragoncello, which is like it's a tarragon liqueur. It's new. Yeah, it's cool though. Tarragon liqueur, you wouldn't, not normally get, but it's like I was like, oh yeah, this is actually super interesting. And then like a high quality amaretto, and then a single malt Scotch rather than a blended Scotch. So we've got like more oomph, more of a like powerful spirit base. We still have that nutty amaretto-ness. The tarragon kind of gives it like that third note that you're looking for in a cocktail for complexity, and then the mole bitters and the lemon oil kind of round it all out to something that's got a little bit more depth. The flagship for me, it's called the SOS, which stands for 71 Streets. There are 71 streets in Atlanta named Peachtree. It's like unreal. And also the original peach schnapps that De Kuyper released in the United States was called Peachtree, and that was the main ingredient of the Fuzzy Navel in 1979, 1980. So it felt like a really big coincidence that I was trying to make an elevated Fuzzy Navel. We're located on Peachtree, and it all just sort of made sense. Or that there's SOS cocktail, right? And 71 streets, and like SOS is a local Atlanta like R&B disco funk band, really fantastic. And there's also the ABBA song from the era called SOS as well. So like it all sort of fell into place as far as like feeling right. We make our own peach tree, I guess you would call it, by infusing real peaches into French brandy, and then we also add a little bit of bitter orange vodka to it to keep the proof boosted, but also like round out multiple flavors that you might get out of like a peach schnapps. But again, more elevated, more real flavors, and keeping the proof up for sure. And then we have a mixer that we call super orange, which is like we want this juice to be as orange tasting as possible. So it's orange juice. We've acid adjusted it so that it actually has, like a little bit more balance. And then we've also added orange oleo and dry orange curacao to it. So like you get like a lot of different types of orange in that. And then we round it out with Cappelletti and Cochi Americano. So it's kind of like a Fuzzy Navel and a paper plane at the same time. And then we put a few dashes of bee foam in there just to make it like look cool. And I think that that's the one that we really nailed first, and that I keep coming back to, and that I love that cocktail. Yeah. Like another cocktail on our menu is our house kind of old-fashioned variation. People weren't necessarily really drinking old fashions like that in the era, but what were they drinking? 7-7s. And so we had the idea to split bases of a rye whiskey and vodka to kind of give you that blended idea, but still like high quality. There's a little bit of a like cherry brandy in it, so you can get that like cherry note. And then instead of doing like 7-Up, we did a lemon and lime oleo in the place of our demerara, where you would normally have that. So it's kind of like our play on an old fashioned with like some of the flavors of a 7 and 7. So a little bit of brighter citrus and a little bit of cherry like you would get in the cocktail, but actually like kind of like distilled down into an old fashioned variation. So that's the kind of cocktail that we make here. So the MOD and the servers and the bartender and the barback, we're all the DJ. We have a bunch of records, and we kind of have an understanding of what tempo and what mood they are in, and then we play them side for side. So people are not just hearing like hits. They're hearing like B-sides and deep cuts, and kind of like getting a little deeper into the music as well. So it's the staff that's DJing throughout the course of the night. That's the entire source of the music here, yeah. Which is like kind of a different change of pace for people who are accustomed to just like a absolutely blaring, never miss a single millisecond of sound playlist. The late 70s through the mid 80s, just a really remarkable time for music. It's like not just disco, but it's also like the go-go's and punk music and like great rock and roll as well. Truly like an explosion of different, absolutely talented, genre-breaking musicians. And we're trying to, for the most part, we're playing disco because that's kind of like, it's got the energy that people like, and I really enjoy disco and the instrumentation. But we're looking forward to also integrating more styles from the era in.